Well, good afternoon, and welcome to this week's edition of Drive Facebook Live. I'm your host, Bob Spitz, with my co-host, Tony Whistler, and our very special guest, who really, in the drive world, doesn't really need an introduction. She's become famous around the office, and that's Deanna Uri from Cole's Service Center in Van Cleve, Mississippi. Hello, Deanna.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
You betcha.
You're welcome. Good
Deanna,
to
why
see
don't
you.
you let all the people who are watching know a little bit about you and your shop and all that jazz?
Well, we have General Repair. We're in South Mississippi. And next Tuesday, we will be celebrating 51 years in business.
Wow.
So I'm working on my third gold watch.
Very good.
It's family owned and operated. My father and his brother started it, and now I have it with my brother and my sister-in-law and my husband. And my little mom, who's 86, comes out every morning to take the money to the bank. We can't fire her, so we had to have something for her to do. So she just goes to the bank every morning. So,
Very nice.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a small rural town, population about 10,000.
Yes, Dee, you and I have known each other a long time, and
Mhm.
I've watched the changes in your shop and in Van Cleve. I remember when you got your first traffic light.
Yes. Yes. They
But
finally put,
also the shop change, the changes that have gone on in the business from the days of your dad to where you are today, just remarkable changes.
I have to stop and think about it sometimes to remember. We still have the old shop. We just turned it into a Chinese buffet.
Is that a
Well, your dad was
euphemism or is that what you actually really did?
Well,
your, your dad was a heck of an entrepreneur.
oh, we had a junkyard, we had the bait and tackle shop, which is where everybody bought beer and just, I mean, just we had a burger joint. I was a burger queen for, 30 years. So yeah, we just do a little bit of everything. And that's how dad raised us. We didn't hire anybody to do anything. We just did it ourselves. Carpentry, plumbing, electrical, if you needed it done, you just do it,
Mhm.
and bookkeeping. And I told him, I said, Daddy, people go to college and get degrees in bookkeeping. I really think we ought to get a real one. So we did.
Well, your mother took care of the bookkeeping for a long time.
Boy, and look, don't tell mama, but we had to get her off of those books. She was transposing numbers. I was like, oh, mom, this ain't working for us. So anyway, so what I did is we make her go to the bank every morning, but I also make her sweep the rugs. So she tells all the customers when she comes in, goes, Deanna tells me I have to sweep the rugs. And then she looks at me, and I just look and smile. I said, that's how we
She's
keep her
throwing
young and beautiful.
but she's throwing you under the bus or is she happy to do the
100%, buddy. Look, she told John right before John and I got married, she says, she doesn't clean house.
Thanks a lot, Mom.
Okie dokie. My best friend.
Oh boy.
Anyway, but
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, we've
51.
had some good times together.
Oh, absolutely. I remember the first time I met you, Bob, you said, I've never met anybody from Mississippi before. Say
I
something.
hadn't. You were my first, and you were a challenge. Go, whoa. Yeah, don't fall asleep talking to Deanna.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've watched over the years is the cultural change you had to go through from the way the business ran and the culture your dad had installed in that business to where you are today, and some of those old school methods that your dad used to employ and trying to break those habits and
I
instill workable solutions.
I remember when we went to drive the first time we went to California, and of course you have the introductory where everybody goes around the table and who are you, where are you, and so on, and what's your labor rate. And I think we were like the last one, and our labor rate was like $35 at the time. And Wes stood up, he said, well, I'm Wes from Bankley. He said, I think we're gonna have to raise our labor rate when we get back.
Oh, but you also had the bank of coals. I almost fell off my chair when you told me how many open accounts you had. I said, "Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
oh no.
Deanna, what are you
I could have
doing?"
gone, Look, we used to sell gas and we finally stopped selling gas. And I could have gone to Harvard for what we had in $5 gas tickets. I'll pay you Friday, Kenneth. I could have gone to Harvard. I just burned them all. I said, I just can't look at them anymore. They just got to go. So, oh yeah.
Do you
He
keep those in
was
a shoebox, or what'd you
he
do with
was
those things?
not a drawer at work. He was running a ministry. He was well loved. He was well loved. When Daddy passed away, there was over 1,000 people at that funeral.
Wow.
He was
That's
well.
wonderful.
Well, your dad was quite the character, and from a different era. And as Mike Lee says, he was out there making friends.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Rather
sadly,
than,
that doesn't pay the bills. But boy, you sure have friends.
and he did. And he did. He really did. So
Yeah. So you've taken this business to where it is today, and I'll just let everybody know, Deanna is one of our few recipients of Sustained Master Elite, which is our highest award given to a shop owner for excellence in really every aspect of the business. It's not exactly a walk in the park to achieve that, but I think it's very rewarding, isn't it, Dee?
it is very rewarding, and I am the #1 fan of the master program through Drive. I'm your biggest cheerleader. That is just a path for success, and I avoided it for years and years because I just didn't think it applied to me. I had a small shop, rural Mississippi. I'm never going to be one of these big, $2 million a year shop. I mean, it's never going to happen. So I didn't pay any attention to it, and I didn't realize what it was. And when I found out, I thought, well, hell, I'm already a master. I'm just gonna. So I started doing the paperwork and going through the process that you have in place, and I cannot possibly recommend it enough to everyone who's in Drive.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And you had, was it Jim Saley who came down and did your shop inspection?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Deanna spent the day with us, and as Wes likes to tell it, he came in the weekend that we had changed. We were going into digital inspections, and we had like a new program on the computer. So on top of Jim being there, we were figuring out how to do it was like all three things happened at the same time. Wes says, we got to cancel. He's got to come back. I said, no, oh, heck no, he's coming. We'll be fine. Just muddle on as long as he knows it. So, and it was fine, but it was like, how many balls you throw up in the air at one time? So
Yeah.
That's great.
Jim was
And then
great.
then you get that report from Jim, and it points out all the little things that, you should really tighten this up or tighten that up, or hey, why don't you try doing this or that? And that's
I,
quite the grocery list, isn't it?
I think I had about 6 or 7 typed pages. It was a laundry list. But you know what? Every single thing on there there was no question. It was like, yep, 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 yep. And some of the things we were actually already working on, but when you have that list, you go into overdrive and you just start getting it done. And it's a culmination of the years that I had put in with Drive and the information they had given me and why you do this and how it works and why it works. And then all of a sudden you have this list in front of you and you just knock it out. And all of a sudden you're the other side going, what's next? What else do you
What's
want
next?
to come out?
It's
Ready.
the power of a great checklist. Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
by the way, Dee, Brittany from A&M Adam Shop is watching. She says, "Hey."
Hey,
And
hey,
John Starkey from Hawaii is on watching.
hey,
There you
John.
go.
Hey,
Yeah,
John. Uh,
yeah.
great, great, great people. John's a hoot. Now, everybody needs to meet John at some point.
Oh,
Oh,
I agree.
absolutely.
Or at an expo, either one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hot ticket to be able to go have a drink with you and John at the same time.
Ooh,
That's
hey.
it.
You'll definitely be entertained.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh,
Now, needless to
Absolutely.
say, being a Sustained Master Elite and all the years you've been with us, which is over 20 years, I think I met you in the year 2000, maybe 2001. I don't remember if I was at the seminar that you first went to or if it was just Mike.
no, no, Mike is at the very first seminar. Mike was there, and we were Wes and I were just spellbound with the information. We had everybody says it. It's like they had somebody watching our shop. I'm elbowing him. We got to do that. We got to do that. So yeah, we
Yeah.
were copious notes. And then I met you at the Controlling the Front workshop in California.
Ah, that's what that was. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. And so, needless to say, you've done an awful lot of workshops with Drive,
Yes. And,
and to the
and many of them a few times.
yeah, because you're always in a different place, aren't you?
Mhm. Yes.
That's kind of like you used to be one of my partners on the road. You used to come and help me at the seminars. And I
Mm.
can remember, even though you'd been to it many times, you'd be taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember when they first called me and asked me to come, and I said, "How much is it?" I was ready to cut the check to come get. No, you're coming as our guest, and I was like, "I'm happy to pay." No, it was fabulous, and the people that I've met through those years and through those seminars, just to see them grow and become great shops that they
Yeah.
are.
So even though someone has attended a workshop, it really does benefit them to do it again
Mm-hmm.
because you're always in a different place.
Well,
Yeah, the
see,
problem that you're having at that moment, you'll find in the material, and then 2 years later or something, or a year later, something else is going on in your shop,
mhm.
and then you see the material that you hadn't seen before because it's going to solve that problem.
It is. It's just fascinating to me how as you grow, because once you learn something and you understand it and you can use it, then you own it. Now it's yours and you don't have to learn it anymore. And so then there's new things to learn. There's always something new to learn. And my God, in the automotive industry, it changes. That's what I tell people. They say, "How much is tune up?" And I said, if they wouldn't change vehicles every 18 months, I would try to keep up, sugar. Let's look.
And what's a tune-up?
you know but the
Exactly.
principles of business management,
Yeah,
there's tweaking, but the principles of business management, once learned, you own them. They're
that's
yours,
right.
they're part of you, and it's an investment like no other.
Yeah, because then it's just really the bright and clever application of those principles to your situation.
Hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's the beauty behind the workshops is not only do you get the principle, but why that principle is that principle.
Right.
And then of course being able to share those ideas with other shop owners has always been a very big attraction. In fact, Deanna, we've been to a lot of conventions and expos together, and there's one coming up. And the surveys at the end of the expo, almost always one of the top things from shop owners is the ability to network with other shop owners.
Hmm. Oh, yes. Yes. That's the key. And that's the beauty. One of the beautiful things about Drive is that all of our shops, and some shops are in the same town. And in Denver, there's 3 shops that are all, and they work together. That nobody tries to cut anybody's throat. Everybody wants everybody to succeed because this is all about our craft. This is about our industry. This is about the betterment of what we do because we provide a vital service for the country,
Mm-hmm.
not to mention our shop and our families. That's the close benefit. But what we do is important. And can you imagine if all the garages shut down across the United States of America? Well, what? You
Yeah.
know,
Cars would
They,
not run.
well,
so
the waiting lines at the dealership would be worse than they are now.
That's right.
so it's just so important. And the beauty of Drive is it allows us to share with each other what only makes our craft and our industry better. This is a procedure that we're using that's just helped us and it's helped our customers. It's always about making something better for your team, for your staff, for your customer, for your community. Because my Drive, that's one of the big things about all Drive clients is they try to give back to their community in so many ways. And we share that with each other.
Yep. And there's one
Absolutely.
thing that you do that I think is really important when it comes to helping. When you guys were just a moment ago, we are talking about the expo. Last expo is going to be a milestone for me going forward because it's when you and I finally got to have a conversation about you actually coming on with us and becoming one of our instructors. And I still can remember that conversation and exactly where we were when we had it in the nice casino in Vegas. And since that time, you have become a phenomenally good instructor. And I can say the reason is because of everything you just said It's about wanting to help, and that's the key. And of course, you're a phenomenal communicator. We can all see that. And you're a great instructor. And I want to thank you for being on the team. And I just want to say, how has your experience as an instructor been now that you've been instructing for us for a couple of months?
It has been wonderful. I just didn't realize how much I do enjoy it. And I was thinking about that this afternoon before this was coming on. And instructing is, I'm sharing experiences. I'm sharing information that I've learned and that I know now and how to apply it. And so it's just being able to do that with people is just, it's just a gift. And I can't thank Drive enough for taking a chance on me and letting me do it. But I just really enjoy, because what shop owner hasn't said, if somebody would have only told me, I wouldn't have done that. And so when you buy an experience and you pay for it, it's pretty good. So as I'm sharing my experiences, yeah, that happened to me. Let me tell you what happened. So if you want to try it, go ahead. But I'm just telling you now, I'm trying to save you that, that experience. And that's what it's all about. But helping people, and the clients there's something about people who sign up for Drive that take that first step. And I said this at the last expo. I said, everyone sitting in this room is already a master. You signed up and you showed up. You're already a master in my book. But people who do that, they want something better, and for a lot of reasons. There's all different reasons. So Drive clients and students, I call them students, clients in the class, they interact with me. They don't sit there and just wait for the class to be over and take one or two notes. I mean, they actually ask questions, and I give them experiences, and they'll tell me experiences, and I learn from them for my shop. So,
Oh yeah, you always learn when you teach.
oh, absolutely. So it's been a phenomenal thing, and I thank you, Drive, for letting me do it.
You're very welcome.
Fabulous.
Yep.
So it'd be safe to say your driver for when Tony said, "Hey, how would you like to become an instructor?" That personal purpose of yours is pretty much your driver, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 Because I'm set. I mean, I was trying to figure out what am I going to do with my extra time now that I'm going into retirement, and what am I going to do? I mean, you can only clean house for so long, and according to Mom, I don't do it anyway. So
That's what I was going to say. I heard a rumor that you don't clean house.
So so what you going to do? And then when this popped up, and I thought, oh my God, that would be absolutely perfect. And the thing, of course, y'all probably leading up to it, but there's the master workshops, which is the huge chunks of information in
Yeah,
there.
what are the difference between the master workshops and the action coaching workshops, Steve?
Because you've delivered them both.
Yeah, which ones have I delivered so far, Tony? I've already forgot.
You've definitely done Essentials of Shop Management, which is, we consider that kind of the fundamental of understanding. A lot of our clients start with that one. And you've also done How to Master Training, which went really well. And then, of course, you have coming up the Professional Service Advisor Sales Workshop, which we always like to have people who are shop owners deliver that workshop and who have real experience on the counter. Yes. Dealing with it. And so Mark Bagg, who's another instructor of ours who also owns a Stage 4 shop, he generally delivers that one, but he's going to be out of town, and you stepped up to do that one coming up. That starts on March 4th. And you're also going to be delivering How to Train Your Team, which starts on March 5th. And you've done a couple of action coaching workshops. I can't quite recall the titles right off the top of my head.
Yeah, there was a couple of those, managing change and a couple of things like that. But
How to build a profitable estimate. I sat in with you on that one.
Yes, for collision, no less.
Yeah.
But anyway, but the difference between the master workshops, and these are 4 to 6 day classes, and they're 3 hours a day. So they're full of information, and it's a lot of information. It can be overwhelming, it can be intimidating, but believe me, your drive consultant coach is going to help you work through it. But you've got to get this experience, you got to get this information. But then the action workshops, which is just blew my mind when I found out that y'all were doing the action workshops and they're free to drive clients. I was like, you got to be kidding. I'm happy to, what do you want? I mean, I'll pay. What do you want to pay? But the action workshops are little 1 to 1.5 hour workshops, and they drill into a certain aspect. So if you're having a problem getting a profitable estimate, or playing, getting games together for your team, or holding a shop meeting. I mean, there's a myriad of topics. And it's for the owners, it's also for the service advisors, it's for the shop managers. There's many different levels, and your consultant will help you if you have any confusion. But it drills into these individual topics and gives you some more information, because you can't get it all in the master. You can get the overview in the master, and you can start working it, which is what I did for 20 years. I worked the master workshops because I didn't have action workshops. And so now that they have them, that is a gold mine. It is, and Larry
Fantastic.
Monroe is the instructor, and he is
Larry does most of them.
Mr.
And speaking of instructors, your friend Chris Probst is watching, and she says hi.
Hey, girl.
Another part of the instruction team. Thank you, Chris. She's great. We've really built a great instruction team here at Drive, and I'm very proud of you guys. And you guys do a wonderful job. Chris specializes in all the financial workshops because she has a financial background. And I actually did the very next day after you and I talked, Deanna, I had the same conversation with Chris because I came to Vegas to snatch both you guys. And I got you both. And so Chris has financial background, and she's very, very good with her own financial books with her shop in Colorado. So you guys are both wonderful, and having you on the team has been amazing. And but anyway, so that's that. Chris is wonderful.
Great. Chris, if you ever at an expo and you get to meet Chris Probst, I highly recommend it. She's awesome.
And she's going to, she helped us. We just recently, and this is going to be released very shortly, we've rebuilt the entire curriculum for our finance workshop suite.
Okay.
There's four workshops now that make up the suite of workshops that's part of our financial curriculum. And that's actually going to be a new certificate that we're going to offer, Deanna, Master of Shop Finance. And Chris is going to be delivering those, and we want to thank Chris for her help in developing those. That was a big chore, and it's come out really, really good. Now, I believe our marketing team has posted some things in the chat, Tony, for people if they want to register for the expo.
Very good. Yeah, I think there's a link in there. I mean,
right there.
Yeah, that one right there. Requiem.
Yep, right there, exactly. And
then also register for Deanna's workshop.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yep.
And then also, if and let's not forget that with all of the accolades that Deanna has gotten with Drive, there's one other thing. She has been a shop spotlight. We like to spotlight a shop every month, and she has been one of our spotlight shops. And I think our team is going to put a link in there to go check that out. And
if you haven't read it, you should read it. It's a good read, short read.
And then she also has a great website. So she's even going to link Deanna's website. So if you guys want to go look at it. So watch your website count. You know, if we get 10, a lot of people watch it. So 10,000 people hit your website. I don't know. Hopefully it'll be okay.
That's okay.
You've got a great website.
And that's another thing. I'm a big plug for the website, because being in Van Cleve, Mississippi, in a rural area, they tried to get me to get a website for 3 years. And I said, I don't need a website. I'm already the biggest fish in this pond, and I don't need anything else. I'm fine. When I Google myself, there I am. And I finally signed up for it. And oh my gosh, it was night and day. Just the next week after signing on to the website, the team with the website, and let me tell you something, you just send them a little email, say update this, change that word, put this photo in, and they, within a day, it's done. It is the easiest website ever. It's worth every stinking penny you pay for it. So if you don't have a Drive website, I call me.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and it extended your you really didn't understand your own demographics, did you?
No,
And
no.
your reach, how far you were reaching.
We're pulling from, I'm in the Jackson County, and I'm pulling from the west side of Mobile all the way over to the county line and up 3 counties above me. People are coming down because people are looking for a shop that's real and honest and fair and what have you. I mean, that's what they're looking for. And the shops that can't quite get it, they're closing up. I mean, I hate it for them.
Yeah.
If Contact Drive, they'd probably still be open, but they're, they will drive past 10 other shops to get to you. I mean, it happens every day. I see it all the time. And, because once people get settled with a shop that they know and they enjoy and they like, that's where they're going to go. Who
Right.
wants to go hop shops every week,
It's all about that trust.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'd like to share one funny story of working with you and Wes, and one of the many times that you were trying to shoehorn Wes into the manager position. And I was talking to Wes, and I'm giving him instruction on something that I really needed him to do. And I'm watching your stats, your KPIs, and they're not changing. And I'm going, he can't be doing this. And I call him and go, Wes, did you do this? And he said, yes, yeah. And he's always called me Mr. Bob. Yes, Mr. Bob, I did that. I said, you sure the way I told you to do it? He said, yes, sir. And I said, I don't believe him. So I called you, Deanna, and I said, this is what Wes is telling me. And you said, oh, really? She goes, I'm going to send you some pictures. And you sent me pictures of Wes leaning against the bay door, looking out over the countryside of Mississippi. And I called him up and I said, Wes, you are so busted. He goes, what are you talking about? I know exactly what you're doing. Go, what do you mean? You go, I've got pictures. Pictures? Where did you get pictures? I said, Deanna. She goes, oh.
That is so good.
Oh, God,
It runs in the family.
Yep, and I've had Wes in many workshops too, and even his wife, and those guys are great in workshops
They
as well.
are.
You guys are just really,
I
really great.
love Wes.
Wes is one of the finest men I've ever met in my life. He
There
is.
you go.
And he's a good person.
Yep.
Talk about heart on the sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we have to keep him in the back.
That's why I keep him off the counter.
Get to it for free. I'm like, go away.
Tony, I think we've got a station break and
We
an
do.
announcement about next week.
We have an announcement about next week, next Friday, the 23rd. We're going to be talking about hiring outside the box and how to create your dream team with our special guest, Kelsey Lancaster of Performance Automotive Repair of Bayfield, Colorado. And she is great too. And I'm really looking forward to having that show. So there's that one. And then we can never not have a commercial break without at least mentioning the expo, which you can see behind us, is going to be happening. You can go to the drive, you can go to driveshops.com and you can go to the landing page for the expo and you can look at a lot of cool stuff. It's coming up in June and it is going to be great. So please.
Dee, will you be there?
We'll be there. Yes.
Great. So you can meet Deanna there in person.
Yes. Yes.
That's right. It's quite possible you might even have her instructing some workshops. We don't know. We'll see if I can. I have to convince her. She's like, I'm at an expo. I'm here to have fun. And I'm like, I'm putting you to work.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much for having me. I always enjoy being with y'all. Y'all are both great guys. Just wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Everybody,
and you are too.
Everybody at Drive is great people. I just want to say that.
Well, thank you very much, Dee, and enjoy your weekend. Say hi to Wes for me.
I will.
All right. And we'll see you probably next week sometime.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Yeah, it might happen. So thank you very much for attending, everybody. This has been a wonderful talk with Dee on Drive Facebook Live, and we'll see you at the next episode. You all have a great weekend.
Bye.